Alright, I am DeMonky of Monkeyless Productions, and I want to wish everybody a happy Easter. That's right, it is Easter time when Jesus came back to life. Holy crap, he came back to life. Wow. Save the world and come back. So, in honor of that, I have donned a new hairdo. I like it, nice and cool. Weather's starting to warm up. Unless you're in someplace warm, then screw you, because it was cold here not that long ago, and it was freezing. But, so, new beginnings, haircut, hope you like it. Actually, I really don't care. That's why I cut it. I like it. So, but in honor of Easter, I am doing a list of characters who have died and come back to life. Not necessarily in that order, and not necessarily only once. So, let's get started. First up is coming in with a power level of over 9,000. Throw stuff. Banging noise. Chucking rocks. I don't know. Is Goku from the Dragon Ball Z series. Now, this guy has died, come back to life thanks to Dragon Balls, from hence the name, the show. This guy is just insane. He fights, and I think he's died like, I want to say 3 or 4 times. And he just keeps coming back for more, but he loves the fight, so he deserves props on the list. Next up is Azura from Azura's Wrath, a video game on the Xbox 360 and PS3. Now, this is a guy who is a god, gets killed by the head god, and in hell decides he's going to climb the Tower of Hell. Now, if you climb the Tower of Hell and you're able to make it to the top, you come back to life. Now, he does this so many times, and it's crazy, but every time he does it, like 1,000 years pass by. And every time he does, and it's just, the whole purpose of it is to save his daughter. That's it. Because the head god was going to use his daughter for malicious terms. It's crazy. Great game. Check it out. Alright, next up on the list, Dean and Hank Venture from the Venture Brothers, an Adult Swim show, and it's a funny show. It is hilarious. I mean, these kids die so much that their father actually keeps clones of them. So when they die, he just pops out new clones. That's crazy, right? Wish you had that kind of money? So do I. But he pops them out. And his whole response to it is, oh, you got a couple of accident-prone kids, you accident-proof the house. You got a couple of death-prone kids, you keep clones around. And you know what? Speaking of death-prone brothers, might as well throw up on the list Sam and Dean Winchester from the Supernatural series. Now, these guys have died, honestly, as much as the Venture Brothers. They've died, come back to life. And it's crazy, either from dealing with a demon or literally God himself bringing them back, and it's crazy. But they have saved the world numerous times, so they deserve time on this list. Next up is someone who, honestly, I was kind of iffy about this, but he deserves props. He does. Titus from the Final Fantasy X series. Now, technically he wasn't alive because he was only a dream. That's right, he was a dream created by powerful beings. And when they got rid of the beings, he disappeared. But in Final Fantasy X-2, if you worked your ass off, if you worked it off and got the special ending, which is, dear God, it's hard to get. If you work the special ending, Titus is brought back to life. I mean, technically he's just created again, because, you know, he was never real to begin with, but then he becomes real. So, yeah. But, So he deserves props on this list somehow. And I guess if we're talking about dying, coming back to life, saving the world, obviously Link from the Legend of Zelda series deserves that. Because, I mean, he saved the world, died, and reincarnated, came back to life. So obviously Link deserves props on this. He's been around for so long. If you're not a fan of the series, it's okay. Not really. But I ain't gonna judge you. Other people will. Oh. And since we're naming off people who have died, I didn't even want to put them on the list because it would have ran the video too long. I'm just going to throw it out there. The entire DC and Marvel universe, those characters have died and come back to life so many freaking times. I mean, in DC, there was literally a comic book series where heroes died and came back to life, and then came back to life again because they were zombies the first time. So, to name, just throw that whole entire universe out there. Someone wanted me to name superheroes, so I couldn't name them all. It's too much. Too much. I mean, literally, Wikipedia it. Look it up online. You will see the list is almost endless of superheroes who've died. Batman's died. Holy crap, Batman, yes, he's died. Come back to life. Superman, obviously. They had a huge comic book series about it. God, see, I could just go on all night. Although, there is one superhero I will have to point out. He's a DC superhero. And his name says it all. He deserves props on this list because his name is literally Resurrection Man. I had never even heard of this guy. Someone found him and said I should throw him in the video because it would be funny. Honestly, it is. He deserves props on this. He is a superhero whose power is to die and come back to life. And when he comes back to life, he has a superpower based on how he died. Are you kidding me? His power can be anything. He just has to die. You set him on fire, he comes back to life with firepower. I mean, some of his powers were pretty lame. I mean, I was looking him up, and like he had one power that he could just change his skin color. So obviously it's a power that can backfire. He didn't have a long-running comic. It was only a few years. And they canceled it, which honestly, I want to find this comic book series and read it up because it sounds good. It really does. He's only had a few guest spots on other comic books. Honestly, check out Resurrection Man. I was looking him up. He looks really cool. I've never even heard of him or a superpower like that. So, and last up on the list, I think he kind of deserves it. And honestly, he's got to be number one on the list. I'm not doing numbers in this list because I really can't rate these characters because they're all good in their own right. But honestly, number one would have to be Jesus Albagore Lion himself, Aslan the Lion from the Narnia series. He literally states that he, in our world, is Jesus. He states that. So he deserves top of the list because obviously he's Jesus. So it's the day about him. Granted, it's a book, I know, but obviously Aslan the Lion deserves a spot on the list. And of course, Jesus Christ himself. Can't forget about the big man. But honestly, if you guys have any more characters that I didn't mention, obviously there's going to be a lot more. Leave a comment down below with the hero's name or the character's name. Obviously, just leave the character's name and explain what they are, and say what book, movie, game. Say what they're from. Put it down. So that way it gives people little hints. Obviously, if you're going to go DC, Marvel, it's way out there. We already know. Basically, every superhero's died and come back to life. They do that all the time. God. I think Peter Parker died. Came back to life. Yeah, you name them. So, all right. Well, I hope you all have a very happy Easter, and as always, I will see you in the future. DeMonky, DeMonky, finish him.